welcome back to Froggy Del Rio Farm. Today we're going to be making some habanero watermelon peach hot sauce. This combines all the flavors of summer and including the heat. So let's get started. This is our second round of habaneros that we're getting this summer for our hot sauce. Pretty good crop, I would say, considering we have 1, 2, 3 habanero plants, and then we also got cherry peppers. They're actually overtaking the cherry peppers, and we have about the same amount of cherry peppers, 3 cherry pepper plants. That's more than what we need. This is what I got habanero wise, cherry pepper, and still I got a lot more on here, man. If we don't get a frost till late, I think I'm gonna have another round of the habaneros. And definitely cherry peppers got a lot of flowers on them, so we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a hot winter. First, I'm going to start out by roasting up this red bell pepper on the grill. We'll get her nice and roasted, and we're going to add this to our sauce. It's going to give it some body and a little bit extra flavor. Alright, with all the peppers we got out in our garden, I have some that I previously picked here. These are starting to ripen, so we got to do something with them. That makes hot sauce. So what we're going to do is start by taking off all the stems. You can wear gloves. I'm full. I'm probably not wearing any gloves, so I may regret it later, but if you're careful, it should be alright. So there we go, we got all the stems off. So now the next thing we're going to do is just cut them up. Don't have to be like diced up or anything like that. We're just going to go ahead and rough chop till we get all that done. You can smell it. And then what we're going to do is go right into the pan over here along with some other ingredients. There we go, we got everything chopped up. Whoops. There's 2 cups. It comes out to just about a little over 4 cups of chopped habanero into the pot. So now we're going to add our other ingredients after we get the heat going. We're going to add our roasted red bell pepper that we roasted on the grill. We want to try and peel all this burnt stuff off. It's the skin. And basically what we want is just that, the flash of that pepper right there. We're going to give that's going to give it, calm it down a little, but I don't think all the sweet pepper in the world is going to calm this down, because those peppers are pretty hot. I was choking just cutting them. But you can see the skin comes off really good. And that's kind of what we're left up with. We'll take the seeds out there. And there's all our roasted pepper that we're going to put in there. Chop that all up. red pepper. Fire roasted on the grill. A little bit of skin there. Okay, about to heat things up here. So we got our fire going, our roasted pepper, our habaneros are in there, and to that we're going to put 1 cup of chopped carrots. That gives it a little bit of body, not a whole lot of sweetness, but it'll help keep it a little thick. So we got them in there. Next we're going to add a 1/2 cup of what I use is apple cider vinegar. And I use this type, no advertisement, but. So next I'm going to use a cup of chopped peaches. Going in there. Followed up by 1/2 cup, I just took some cherry tomatoes out of the garden. That's 1/2 cup. And then I got a 1/4 cup of chopped onions, 2 cloves of garlic chopped. And because this is kind of like a summer recipe, I have some chunks of watermelon I'm going to throw in there. Not a lot. I mean, you can use whatever you want. I took like 3 nice chunks. And that, you know, it's going to add some liquid to it, which is why normally you would use a cup of vinegar, but I only used a 1/2 cup because I know I'm going to get liquid there. A little bit of Italian seasoning. This is all stuff that we grew in our garden and dried out and chopped up. It's a mixture of basil. We got a little bit of rosemary in there and some oregano. I'm also going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of pink salt. Now this stuff's really salty. You're gonna think maybe, oh, it's not enough salt, but it doesn't take a lot of this stuff to really, maybe I'll just give it a little bit more, to really make your stuff salty. So you gotta be careful when you're using that. And then a little bit of ground black pepper. And that's it. So we're gonna put a lid on this and let it simmer for about 15-20 minutes to let everything get all softened up. Alright, so we're about 10-15 minutes. And again, you don't want to boil this. Just let it simmer. I mean, it's boiling a little bit in there. Things are starting to soften up. One thing I forgot to mention, you might want to open a window or have a fan going because it can generate some pretty irritating fumes. So yeah, we're gonna let that go a little bit longer and we'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and turn off the fire and let this cool down. You can see, oh yeah, we got a lot of juice in there already. I don't even want to taste it yet. It'll burn my taste buds out, but we're just gonna let this cool down for about another 20 minutes. And then we'll be back. We're back. That stuff's cooled down. We'll get ready to put it in the processor now. We got a lot of juice in there. Everything should be softened up. I mean, it's still a little warm, but should be okay. Alright, we're just gonna scoop it into our processor here. Everything in there. Still got some steam to her. Last nugget. give it a little check. It's looking like. I don't know if I dare taste it. Pretty thick. Yeah, we'll let it reduce up a little more, but it's a nice, thick, consistent sauce. And we'll give it a little bit more. One last thing before I put it into the bottles. I'm going to use just a ½ teaspoon, not even, of xanthan gum. That helps keep it from separating when you have it in the bottle. It's like a thickener. You can get it on Amazon, pretty much any store. Not quite a ½ teaspoon. I'll mix that in there. And all that does is, again, it helps to keep it from separating in the bottle. Next step, we'll be bottling it up. First things first, though, have that little taste. It's the dangerous part. It's pretty darn good. It's hot, but it's good. Woo! Alright, so now we're getting ready to put it into the jar. Get our lid out of the way. Have a little funnel set up. It's a little easier if I dump some in here. Go over the sink first. Jar. I'm going to overfill it. Yep, and I overfilled it, looks like. Not quite. Turned out pretty good. The next one I'll try not to fill as high. Set that off to the side. Funnel in. Sauce. on to the next one. Let me get a little more sauce. Getting down there, still got a few more jars to fill. And then drain down in there. It's going down in slightly on the thick side, but that's the way we like it. You don't want to run. Sometimes you want runny sauce, but in this case, it's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got watermelon, peaches, carrots, pepper. So I'm gonna make sure. Okay, now I'll just scrape everything down in there. Be. Alright, now move on to the next one. And here's what we got so far. Get ready to put the lids on. I just want to make sure that I wipe everything off real good. Wet paper towel, just in case any kind of funk you can see on the one. It got a little bit on there. So that pretty much, that batch there. Whoa, getting a little bit of fumes. That batch there filled all these jars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 jars I got. Or bottles, I should say. Now that one batch of peppers that we picked. So, I mean, other than maybe drying them out or freezing them for whatever you might want to make in the winter, habaneros, in my opinion, are good for making sauce. Along with a few other ingredients. Whoa. That being said, I'm ready for the lids. Make sure they're on good. It's easy to get these things cross-threaded sometimes, so gotta be careful snugging them on. Bottles you can pick up on Amazon, eBay. Relatively cheap. They also come with this. If our sauce were a little bit watery, this will pop over the top. But in the case of this hot sauce, we don't need it. thick enough where it probably wouldn't come out that little hole. Had to use it. So I got plenty of them left over. We'll be back for the next step. And then the next step is to place these shrink sleeves on the bottles. I've already got a couple going. These, make sure when you order these bottles that you get the shrink sleeve. Some of them come with it, some of them don't. I mean, you don't have to have it on there, but it makes it look a little more like a cool looking bottle if you're going to give them away for gifts or anything like that. And it kind of seals the lid on there, makes it look like it's never been opened. Go on there pretty easy. You put your finger down in there, slide it over the lid. And last one. So that time, now we're ready to go ahead and shrink them down. In that case, I have this little hair dryer here we use. There you have it, all 12 of them, and there's only one thing left to do. Now we have kind of what you call the icing on the cake. And there you go, the finished product, from the garden to the bottle. It's the funnest part. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope if you try and make some of this stuff, it turns out as good as ours does. We'll be finding out come hunting season. Taking a few jars of this up to the Pocono Mountains to Old Poke Swamp Camp. See how the boys like it.